This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi, and, well, change is amidst.
Yes, certainly.
Yes.
While you were sleeping, our nation's vote count came in, and Donald Trump, now the president-elect of the United States, and it happened very early this morning. So we are going to get more information and go live for the very latest on that in just a minute. But first, quick update on what we're walking out the door to this morning?
Yeah, you know what? There's going to be a little bit of cloud cover out there, and you may think it's going to be downpours of rain, but it won't. It'll be a little bit of light showers, maybe an isolated sprinkle or two today. You can see the heavier rain located to the north. That's really not going to be our problem. We'll look for about a 20% chance of showers today. Daytime highs held down a bit by cloud cover, but after the clouds part and the front moves through, some delightful weather on the way. More later.
All right, sounds good, John. And getting back to, of course, today's big election news. Donald Trump receiving 275 electoral votes. That surpassed, of course, the number of votes needed to win. Hillary Clinton receiving 218. She has called Donald Trump to concede.
Yeah, it was so close, nobody knew. And even as her chairman campaign was saying we're not going to submit, she did. And now Emily Schmidt has more.
Donald Trump promised all along that he was starting a movement that would shake up Washington. They were big words, and he proved them to be true last night. With his family standing nearby, Donald Trump took the stage for an unexpected and stunning acceptance speech.
I love this country.
It is the first few expected. Donald Trump, the first person since Dwight Eisenhower who never held office before the campaign, now the United States president-elect.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division.
Trump thanked his competitor, Democrat Hillary Clinton, who called Trump to concede the race but did not address supporters who had gathered in a glass-ceilinged convention center for what they had hoped would be her victory party. Her campaign advisor spoke briefly instead.
We are so proud of her. She's done an amazing job.
Clinton entered Election Day leading in national polls with what political experts said was a clearer path to the 270 electoral votes needed to win the race. Through the night, that path narrowed until it closed completely. Key states like Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina went to Trump. So did safe states like Wisconsin the Clinton campaign thought were locked up. Clinton had a night of not enoughs, winning 88% of the African-American vote, but not as much as President Obama captured 4 years ago. She also won less of the Latino, white, and young people vote than Obama had.
When you take a look at the popular vote, you see how deeply divided that voters were last night. In fact, when you look at the popular vote, Trump led Clinton, but last count by just 0.2%. Still, he says he will be the president for all Americans. Reporting live in New York City, I'm Emily Schmidt. Now back to you.
All right, so Hillary calling. She has not spoken publicly, but she is expected to at some point today to concede and talk about her feelings after the race. And now we're going to take a look at traffic before we get back to more local races and whatnot. Suncoast roadway is looking pretty good. Not a lot of volume. A lot of people sleeping in after the big election night. No issues in Manatee County. You see Palmetto, the bridges coming over from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton looking good. The Green and DeSoto bridges and all over Manatee County is smooth sailing at this point. Sarasota also looking good. Not a lot of cars on the roadways, and those that are getting where they need to go at this point in the morning.
It is 6:03. We're going to talk about some other issues here on the ballot in Florida, starting with Amendment 1, which would have kept residents from subsidizing solar energy for those who put panels on their homes and businesses.
The amendment failed to get the 60% voter approval needed to pass. It received support from about 51% of voters. Opponents argued the amendment would hinder the development of alternative energy in Florida. And the executive director of the group Florida Conservation Voters, the result is a clear signal that Floridians want more access to clean solar energy.
We are on the precipice of a real change for Florida. We're going to go from being just incredibly behind other states when it comes to solar power, to having the potential to have a really strong energy future and to actually be a leader when it comes to clean, renewable energy.
The state's 4 major private utilities, FP&L, Duke Energy, Tampa Electric, and Gulf Power, spent more than $20 million on the proposal, trying to get people to vote yes on Amendment 1.
Meanwhile, controversial Amendment 2 got more than enough support to pass. Amendment 2 legalizes medical marijuana for people who want physicians' approval to use it. Florida is now the 26th state to legalize medical marijuana. It is the second time the referendum has been put before Florida voters. Last time it fell 2 points short in 2014 of passing. This time, Arkansas and North Dakota also voted on medical marijuana, but we're still hearing that those results are too close to call. California and Massachusetts voted to legalize recreational marijuana, while in Arizona, Maine, and Nevada, those results too close to call still from the voter tallies. The 2 amendments to give tax exemptions to disabled first responders and the elderly have received widespread support.
Amendment 3 has passed with support from 84% of voters. It'll give permanently disabled first responders breaks on their homestead property taxes. Amendment 5 also passed, receiving support from 78% of voters, and that creates homestead tax exemptions for elderly residents whose properties are valued at less than $250,000.
Now to the race for Florida's seat in the U.S. Senate. Incumbent Senator Marco Rubio reelected to a second term with 52% of the vote, beating U.S. Representative Patrick Murphy with 44% of the vote. Earlier this year, you'll remember, Rubio was in the race for the White House, running in the Republican primary against Donald Trump. After dropping out, he was convinced to run for re-election for his Senate seat. He spoke last night in Miami about his victory, and Patrick Murphy gave his concession speech.
Despite all of our challenges, there is no country and there is no people on this planet that I would trade places with. I am glad that I'm an American in the 21st century. America's going to be okay. We will turn this country around. I have faith. I know God is not done with America yet.
Senator Rubio and I obviously have our differences. You all saw the debates. Right? We have our differences. But at this point, it is important that we come together and do what's best for Florida. Floridians are counting on Senator Rubio to fight for them, and he is going to be a fighter for Florida, right?
A lot of contention in that race as well.
Yeah, it was hard for him to even speak about it, to even prevaricate, so to speak.
Yeah, a lot of fighting in that debate, so it's nice that we're able to move on from that now. Here on the Suncoast, the U.S. House of Representatives has been decided.
Yeah, Republican Vern Buchanan won re-election in the 16th Congressional District with 60% of the votes, beating out Democrat Jan Schneider. It's the 6th time that Buchanan has been elected to the U.S. House.
Another local race to represent Sarasota County south of Clark Road in the U.S. House has been decided. Incumbent Republican Tom Rooney won re-election in the District 17 seat, beating Democrat April Freeman and third-party candidate John Sawyer III. A lot of local issues on the ballot in Manatee County. Voters have given approval to 2 half-cent sales tax referendums.
A new surtax that would support improvements for infrastructure and road projects across the county has passed with support from 50% of the voters. And a continuation of a half-cent sales tax for schools has also passed with 59% support. And the Manatee County School District says it needs more funding to build new schools and deal with the rampant growth, especially in the northeast corridor of the county. And Manatee County officials and school districts are celebrating the passing of that half-cent sales tax.
Yeah, Manatee will now have a 7% sales tax. That is the same as the surrounding counties. And that increase provides $30 million a year for 15 years to help with school construction and renovations, as well as school security and technology. Manatee County School Superintendent tells us that she is no doubt ecstatic with this win.
It's been outstanding. I now know what the Chicago Cubs fans have felt winning the World Series. It feels just like winning the World Series for our children.
Officials say the average Manatee County taxpayer can expect to pay around $120 a year with the 2 half-cent sales taxes.
So did you hear that? Dr. Green just said her students are basically Chicago Cubs and won the World Series.
Happy to have the help in Manatee County. Well, staying in Manatee County, a contentious race for mayor in Bradenton as Mayor Wayne Poston faced 2 challengers.
And he'll end up staying as mayor for a 5th consecutive term, pulling away with 54% of the vote. And he beat out former Bradenton Deputy Police Chief Warren Merriman and Eleuterio Salazar Jr. to stay as mayor. In Venice, another battle who will lead the city. Well, that's incumbent Mayor John Hollick. He won over Frankie Abbruzzino, who was challenging him, and Mayor Hollick received 65% of the vote to stay in office for a third term, and he joins us now. Mayor Hollick, thank you for getting up so early and joining us. I'm sure you were up with the rest of the country watching all the elections, not just your own.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I will be up soon.
That's how we feel. So sometimes we're still sleepwalking through this. But how do you feel? You won the election. You had a challenger who was basically challenging the things that you already stood for, balancing the budget and also growth.
Right. I just feel very honored, very humbled. The people of Venice had a choice, a clear choice, and they decided to re-elect me, and I appreciate it. And I will do the best job I can for them.
All right.
And a lot of talk that there's not enough interaction between residents and elected officials in Venice to really, truly get to the heart of what people want. What do you have to say about that? How do you hope to have that change?
Well, I disagree a little bit with what my opponent said. I think I've been probably as visible as anyone has been ever in the city of Venice. And I continue to go out and talk with residents and try to make sure that the positions that we're taking are compatible with what the majority of the people want.
All right, also 2 bonds have passed, public safety bond passed, and that's for a facility, which I think you were obviously a big proponent of. And also the important one, 27 years old, the other bond, money to rebuild the roads, has passed.
Right, and those are 2 very, very important issues. The current funding for our roads was limited to, in the city of Venice, $330,000 a year through gasoline taxes. It wasn't anywhere near the amount of money we needed to repair the roads. And with the police station, the public safety building, that's actually going to solve 2 problems. We have a lot of infrastructure problems that need to be tackled. This will give us a new police station. The old police station will now become the new Public Works building. We'll be able to put a new roof on it now that we know it's going to stay 1 level instead of 2. And we'll be able to use our 1-cent sales tax, I think, to do the rest of the infrastructure work that the city needs. We just needed this boost, something to get us up and over the top.
Well, good. Nice to be taking office with some of that financial support behind you to help do the things that you want to do.
Oh, it's a fantastic feeling. I knew that if we put the issues in front of the people, we have a very, very intelligent citizenry in Venice, and I know if we gave them the facts, they would make the right decisions, and they did.
All right, well, congratulations.
Job. Thank you.
And thanks for coming in this morning. Get some sleep.
Well, thank you.
You got a lot to do, a lot of change.
All right,
Appreciate
thank you.
that.
Mayor John Hollick reelected in Venice. In other city leadership positions, Jean Gallo won seat 1 on the Bradenton City Council by a wide margin, 48% of the vote there. Seat 5 was a nail-biter in Bradenton, Harold Bird Jr. winning by less than 250 votes. Well, the elections went off without a hitch in most parts of the Suncoast. There is still concern about voter suppression in Anna Maria Island.
A challenge was made against 82 registered voters and 16 mail-in voters who only live in Anna Maria part of the year. City Commissioner Charles Webb filed a challenge against those voters, and while he's standing by his decision, it's left some feeling disenfranchised.
We have a number of people in Anna Maria that were voting in Anna Maria that did not live here. And so this year we got prepared for it and investigated each voter.
They were questioning my legitimacy as a voter and saying that I was attempting voter fraud. It's a privilege to vote, and it bothers me that somebody would just randomly try to take that away from me.
Each challenge will be judged independently. Filing a frivolous challenge is a misdemeanor and could result in criminal penalties. Commissioner Webb, who made those challenges, was up for re-election and lost to Nancy Yetter, who beat out Brian Seymour as well by only 10 votes.
Contention even at the local, smaller levels here, which I think is just what comes with the politics.
Comes with the, what is it? Can't stand the heat?
A lot of fire.
Yeah, a lot of fire. We have some fire in the skies around our region today. We have a little bit of a cloud cover and some rain showers possible. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, and still to come, education on the Suncoast in 2037. What will it look like, and will we be able to keep up with the growth? We'll have more on that coming up and the latest election results.
When caring for my wife alone became too much for me, I called my long-term care insurance company to get help from granny nannies. Now the most wonderful nurses help me with her care.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Why wait until the turkey has you feeling tired? The Black Friday sales event is already started at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokees. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Compass for just $15,999. Or save big on a new Jeep Cherokee starting at just $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish. There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
Rich finishes, beautiful colors, and over 1,000 different fabrics and leathers to choose from. With Bassett Custom Furniture at Bacon's Furniture and Design, you can design every room to match your own unique style. And every piece is quality handcrafted right here in America. Come in today and we'll guarantee your Bassett Custom Furniture will be shipped before the holidays. With our complimentary design service, start designing, start loving. Only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Mom needed more care than we could provide, so we called Granny Nannies. She now has around-the-clock caregivers, and we have peace of mind. Thanks to them, she's where she belongs, at home.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at an air temperature that's coming in mild at 66 degrees, no doubt about that. Dew point is at 61, so about where we were yesterday. However, things are going to change, and the reason they're going to change is our east-northeast wind coming in at about 6 is going to switch more to a southeasterly, even southwesterly direction. That, is going to pump up our dew points, making it feel a little more humid in the afternoon. Then, those winds will continue to shift out of the north, drawing down drier dew points, making it feel less humid as we get into tomorrow. So we have kind of a around the compass with our dew points to get through before we see a little bit drier air move in. 62 in Wauchula, 61 in Arcadia, Mayaca, Bradenton, 62 in Parrish, Lakewood Ranch, and Northport, 59 in Punta Gorda and along the coastline, 64 Venice, 65 Inglewood, 67 Longboat Key. The water vapor imagery showing the stream of blue, that is high moisture content air, and it's basically tracing out the southern branch jet stream. There's another trough of low pressure sinking south, and that's going to take that jet stream, push it southward, and take a little impulse that's riding along it in the form of a low pressure area and push it south of us. That also will take a cold front and push it south of us. Now, it's not much of a cold front, more like a cool front, more like a dry front than anything else. It's going to dry us out, remove some of the moisture from the air, and that will allow our temperatures to fall a little bit, especially at night, but also during the daytime as well, by about 3, 4, maybe 5 degrees. So it's going to be nice. It'll be a nice change. Won't be cold, but it will be comfortable. The low pressure area sinks south as high pressure builds in. The low kind of fades away with a lot of the energy retreating to the west. The winds shift to the northeast, and that draws down the drier air. We get in that northeast wind over a period of 4 or 5 days, probably. We're getting very used to this northeast wind, and we're going to get it again as we head into the weekend. More clouds around today, however, as that front makes its trek through our area. And yes, there's a possibility of a sprinkle, but not much in the way of any kind of heavy rainfall, nothing like that. No thunderstorms associated with this frontal passage, but a little bit of patchy sprinkles or drizzle, not out of the question, 20% chance of that. Cooler today, too, not so much because the cold air arrives today, but because the cloud cover is just going to kind of keep the sun a little bit less effective this afternoon. Rain showers to the north of us. I think that's where the rain shower activity will be most prevalent in the state of Florida through the Big Bend region back into the Panhandle. That low basically stays out in the Gulf, so it never really crosses over the state, never really impacts our weather tremendously. We have across the region right now dry skies. That'll be the case through your morning commute. Watch the RPM computer model. It visually depicts what I've just been talking about. The low pressure area sinks south. The cold front pushes through. The low disintegrates and the moisture is pushed back toward the other side of the Gulf as high pressure builds in, bringing us fair skies and some really nice weather over the next several days. Watch the boating forecast, and boaters take note tonight. The winds will be up a little bit, be kind of breezy out there, so don't let that catch you by surprise. We'll look for today, a daytime high, probably around the 80-degree mark, 20% chance of a shower or two. We'll have some breezy conditions tomorrow, and then the temperatures right straight through Veterans Day into the weekend look great. Upper 70s, cool, crisp nights. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. We are looking at pretty decent conditions on the roads this morning. Slow start to the morning commute. Lots of folks probably up late watching election results. Southbound on 301, starting to see some building volume there at State Road 70. Also, looking farther to the south, I-75 looking good through Manatee and Sarasota counties, but 301 continuing to show the volume off and on north of Sarasota there, heading into town. South County looks good. No slowdowns, no big problems, even in the construction zones, and we are not reporting any accidents.
Thank you, Stephanie. You still head on Good Morning Suncoast.
It is a new day in politics. Donald Trump wins the White House. We will have more on the historic change coming up.
Good morning. We're here at the Publix Aprons Cooking School with Chef Bob. Bob, what's on the menu today?
Well, this is one of our simple meals recipe called a fall sausage ragu. Now, what we're going to do is make a nice sauce with fire roasted tomatoes, but we're going to put canned pumpkin in there.
Oh, I love that. It's so seasonal.
Let's see how it tastes. All right. So in here, I still kind of got this going here. We have sausage, Italian sausage, sweet Italian sausage. Just sauteed that. No oil, no butter, or anything like that.
Great.
Because we're going to use the fat in the sausage. I have onions, and I have red, yellow, and green peppers in here.
Great.
Pretty cool stuff. Now, at this point, when you're making a sauce, Italian food, at this point, we're going to put dry herbs in. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to put a little bit of oregano, a little bit of basil, and here's the thing to make it for the holidays and fall, we're going to put a little pumpkin spice in there.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
So we're going to put it, now we're going to stir that around with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy.
Now, if people wanted to come to Publix and pick up your great turkey sausage, would they need to add a little oil to the pan?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, because not as much will come out. But you know, just, I use the turkey sausage too, but I love this stuff.
Oh, it's the best.
All right, so now what we're going to do, now the reason I pointed out the dry herbs are in the beginning, fresh herbs are at the end. Okay,
Right.
We'll put some fresh parsley at the end. Now we're going to add, these are fire roasted tomatoes.
Oh, bring it.
Really cool stuff. We'll add some fire roasted tomatoes to this. And then we're going to add canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling,
Right.
canned pumpkin.
Plain canned.
Just like that. And then we'll stir that around. Now, this needs to cook a little bit longer, but we're going to just for the sake of doing this here, we're going to add our dry herbs now.
And while you have
herbs.
the dry herbs, I'm going to let you know that starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meal Kiosk. Pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish. Bob, it just looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Hello, I'm Jamie DiDomenico with Cool Today, Plumbing Today, and Energy Today. Here on the Suncoast, taking care of people is more than a slogan, it's a way of life. On Tuesday, November 15th, do your part and show that the Suncoast cares. Come by the Suncoast Blood Bank from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and donate one or more of these important items needed by local organizations, including a life-saving blood donation. For more details, visit suncoastcares.org. That's Tuesday, November 15th from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Suncoast Blood Bank. See you there.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, all this month, we're taking a look at how the Suncoast could change over the next 20 years.
And we certainly could see some big changes for our youth as local school districts are seeing more and more students moving in to both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Current Sarasota County School Superintendent Lori White says she expects to see some exciting developments with education due to the growth of technology.
I think we'll really see it as a planning tool for our teachers of developing and identifying resources and lessons that are really geared for the specific needs of their students.
White says as students and teachers use more newer technology, she thinks new software should be introduced, or software rather, to help students learn and grow. Also, it'll help them develop portfolios earlier in life to help them identify their skills and interests and better prepare them for future and their careers. And getting a lot of good news for schools today too in Manatee County as they were able to approve their sales tax. So we do have a lot of growth here on the Suncoast, and it's nice that the voters look like they are supporting efforts to make it grow smoothly.
It's change over the next 20 years. And we have change this morning with the new president-elect. And still ahead here on Good Morning Suncoast.
We will have local reaction to last night's big wins with more local and state race results. Stay with us, 628.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. Game on, Suncoast. Get scores and highlights from the area's top high school matchups on Football Friday night, just after the news at 11:15. Sponsored by Gulf Coast Honda.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Sometimes, when the course is difficult and you might take a step where you could fall, it's important to trust and ask for help. That's one of the most important things we learned at Tidewell's Teen Grief Retreat. On your grief journey, there are going to be difficult parts, but you have to trust in yourself and your support systems and know there are people around who will help you make it through. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I'm reaching out to you for your guidance and your help so that we can work together and unify our great country.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, a change in Washington. After a long, drawn-out race, Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States.
Lots of local races also determined yesterday. We have local reaction to some of last night's wins.
And if you found Election Day a little too stressful, here are ways to focus yourself and stay on track.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back at 6:31. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi. And, well, there's a theory. Donald Trump was behind in all the polls, and they say because of the social backlash, people were afraid to say they were voting for him. So in the polls, people only who were voting for Hillary said, you know, answered the polls. Everybody else kind of went underground.
The silent
and voted
majority.
For him. Right. So that's why the polls were so wrong, and everybody is shocked because all the polls had it wrong, and all the pollsters have been doing this for years, and they've never seen anything like it.
Absolutely, an inexact science, to say the least.
I guess so. I keep going back to what George Stephanopoulos said about a week ago. He said that this is such an unusual campaign that the rules don't apply, and so just forget the polls.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the way it turned out.
And very similar to that, like just the normal person who could see, they say, well, everybody says Hillary's ahead, but Donald Trump's rallies are sold out and people are packing, so somebody's obviously going for Trump. So it turned out that
and
was
the
the
people
case.
did. Yep, we will find more about that, of course, as we go throughout the morning. We expect to hear from Hillary Clinton this morning as well. But we're going to hear about the weather, and
no problems there.
That's a good thing.
The polls are in, and the thumbs are up, I think, in terms of what the weather holds for us. We have some showers to the north of us. In fact, there will be some rainfall, heavy at times, from the Big Bend region back into the Panhandle. But it's a low-pressure area. Look where the brightest yellows and reds are on this radar image, out in the central Gulf. And I'll tell you what, that's where they're going to stay. There's an area of low pressure that will be sinking southward in Gulf waters. A cold front will be pushed through our area, so we stay cloudy today. We do have a chance of some sprinkles, maybe some light rain as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, but nothing really heavy. And I think as we head into the next 24, you're going to like what the front does to our weather. We'll talk about that in just a few. Back to you.
Excellent. Thank you, John. Taking a look at the roadways. People getting out and about after a long night last night. You see a little more traffic coming over the Green Bridge, a little more backed up than usual, and also right at the elbow at Cortez and 41 as you head west on Cortez Road. A little bit of a backup, but no accidents or delays anywhere in Manatee County, and everything in Sarasota County is looking pretty good as well this morning.
It is 6:34, and topping our news this half hour, we are waking up to a new president of the United States. Donald Trump receiving 275 electoral votes to win the election. He won key states, including Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, though it was a tight race throughout the entire country. Hillary Clinton received a total of 218 electoral votes. Trump took the stage early this morning, about 3 a.m., to give his speech after Hillary Clinton called him to concede.
As I've said from the beginning, ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement made up of millions of hardworking men and women who love their country and want a better, brighter future for themselves and for their family.
Hillary Clinton has not yet publicly spoken. She is expected to do that sometime this morning, and we will, of course, have complete coverage. Well, the celebration kicked off early on the Suncoast last night once Trump took victory in Florida. He won our state 49 to 48%, very tight.
And a lot of the states were like that, all very tight, and that's why it took so long for a concession from Hillary. You know, Trump won the vote in both Sarasota and Manatee counties, and the Sarasota Republican Party held their victory celebration at the Hyatt Regency, and we got reactions from some of the local Republican candidates celebrating their own wins.
I have a 19-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son, and it's imperative for me that we have more career creation here and more economic diversity. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make that happen here.
Well, I think the important things that need to be addressed in the state of Florida include the issue of homelessness, mental health. There's a lot of issues dealing with health care that I hope to be involved in. I'm very excited about the possibilities of making a very positive impact.
And we will hear from Julio Gonzalez, who you just saw there, in the next half hour when he joins us live in studio to talk about his win and what he plans to do with it.
A bit of a different feeling at Marina Jack, where the Sarasota Democratic Party held their own watch party. The party faced several losses in local races and then, of course, the loss of the presidential election. Members of the Democratic Party say while the results are disappointing, it says a lot about the voters who hit the polls this year.
This is America, and the voters speak, and you know, when the voters speak, that's that's what they've said, and so we hopefully will have our leaders will use words of unification and reconciliation tomorrow, whoever wins.
Well, I feel like Trump has spoken to a base of support in our country that maybe hasn't had a voice the past 8 years. He was banking on them to turn out, and it seems like they're coming out in full force.
Griffith says the good thing about the election is that there's another one in 2018, and they'll continue to be working in support of the Democratic Party. We now know who will represent the Suncoast in Tallahassee next year.
Republican Greg Stubbe has defeated Democrat Frank Alcock in the race for Senate District 23. Stubbe will move over from his current position in Florida's House of Representatives.
Meanwhile, Republican Alex Miller has defeated Edward James III with 58% of the vote for a seat in the Florida House of Representatives. James lost the support of both the Sarasota County Democratic Party and the State Democratic Party after a police report detailing accusations of sexual assault emerged in October. However, no charges have been brought against James.
A major victory for Republican Joe Gruters in the House District 73 race as Gruters defeated Reverend James Golden with 65% of the vote. Gruters is a man with many titles. He served as the chairman for Donald Trump's Florida campaign, also the chairman of the Sarasota County Republican Party, and the vice chair of the Florida Republican Party as well.
And obviously a good night for him, as we certainly saw a lot of different Republican wins, but also a good night for Julio Gonzalez. He is joining us this morning as the winner of State House District 74. Dr. Gonzalez, as the incumbent, you did very, very well here with 63% of the vote. Talk to us about Obamacare. I know that became a major issue in your campaign.
Well, for me personally, as a physician, it's been an incredible impediment. As a legislator, it's been something that's just caused tension and strife as we try to allocate funds in a manner that's best suited for Florida, and found the overarching federal regulations to just be an impediment rather than being helpful.
Now, some of the issues facing South County, basically, Northport, Englewood, and Nokomis, for you, what do you have to deal with now for your next years in office?
Well, I think the biggest issue, and the one that I feel most passionate about right now, is the issue of homelessness and mental health. We have a big problem, particularly in Manatee County, regarding drug abuse and the number of deaths that are occurring as a result. I was able to pass a bill that allowed a very important medication to be more easily accessible, and it's saved countless lives. Actually, in Sarasota County alone, it's already saved about 40, according to the Sheriff's Department. So now the question is, what do we do next? What kinds of treatments do we have available? What can we do to these people who are being offered a second chance so they can lead a productive life?
And speaking of which, I asked Mayor John Hollick this as well. When you first get elected, you're just getting your feet under you, and then you have to run for re-election. Now that you have some continuity, how important is that for people to know you're in office, that you've been there, and for you to be able to get the things done that you started out wanting to do?
Sure. It's the biggest advantage of going back is getting to know your colleagues, getting to know the issues in a much deeper level, and then having an understanding on how to move things forward and work cohesively with the rest of the legislators, the rest of the members, in trying to pass some badly needed changes. So I think it'll be an incredible advantage for me moving forward.
Well, good. Well, congratulations on a good campaign and a hard-fought election, and it's nice to know that you're ready to make a difference. We're happy to have you there.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for joining us this morning. We also want to talk about what's coming up for the rest of the week.
Yep.
Seems like it's been a long one in some ways, yet it's only Wednesday morning, so we're going to look ahead to some good-looking weather for the weekend.
Looks great. Clouds will clear out, the sunshine will return, and we'll be looking at some very pleasant weather to spend some time out of doors and to celebrate our veterans coming up on Friday.
That's right.
So we'll talk about that in a second.
It's the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival on Siesta Beach, November 11th through 15th, with 24 of the world's best sand sculptors. Bring the family for new hands-on kids activities, live music, food, sand sculpting lessons, and more. See SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com for details.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Come see the Crystal Classic International Sand Sculpting Festival November 11th through 15th on Siesta Beach. Check out the Crystal Classic Party Tent, produced by Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce and Moat Marine. Details including remote parking via SCAD. Visit siestakeycrystalclassic.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at an air temperature coming in at 66 degrees and a dew point at 61. East-northeast wind at 3 is light. That east wind will be shifting to a more southeasterly, eventually even southwesterly wind over the next 12 to 24 hours. And that will bring back humidity briefly, at least raise humidity briefly, before we start to see the wind shift further around the clock to a more northerly direction, and that will draw down that drier air that will be stuck in place over the state of Florida for days. It's going to be a nice couple of days ahead of us. 61 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia, 60 Mayaca City, Parrish and Bradenton, both at 61. 62's Lakewood Ranch and in Northport, 65 degrees Inglewood, 64 in Venice, and Longboat Key comes in at 67. So we have this frontal boundary located just to our north, sinking southward across the state. An area of low pressure has been triggering showers and even a pop or two of lightning over the last 24 hours from the Louisiana Delta region back toward areas of the panhandle of the state of Florida. And then the winds change direction when you hop over the front. Behind it, they come out of the north. In front of it, they're coming in out of the east or even southeast. So that's critical to our weather over the next 24 hours. As that front sinks southward, our winds switch and come out of the north. When that happens, that drier, less humid air filters in, with sunshine returns, and we get some absolutely spectacular daytime highs in the upper 70s, nighttime lows in the near 60-degree range, even a few upper 50s in inland areas. So really, really spectacular weather for about 3, 4, 5 days in a row. Today, maybe not so spectacular because we have to get that front through here, and as the front sinks south, it may bring us a slight chance of a shower or drizzle. It will, in fact, bring us a slight chance of a shower or a little patch of drizzle, perhaps. I don't see any heavy rain in this forecast, but we could get enough to click on your intermittent windshield wipers as you head home this evening from work. More clouds today. That'll hold the temperatures down, by the way, just a little bit from where they were yesterday. And cooler air on the way starting tomorrow. You can already see the effect of that front and the low pressure area itself spinning around out in Gulf waters. We're getting a little bit of this high drizzle and clouds moving through areas of the Big Bend. Now, a lot of what you see here doesn't even reach the ground. It falls from the clouds and evaporates before it ever reaches the surface. But we have a chance at seeing a little bit of a sprinkle around here from time to time. Some false echo just to the east of Arcadia, nothing there. That's probably falling from the sky and re-evaporating. Winds generally out of the east this morning, switch more to the southeast this afternoon, eventually even southwest, then switch to the north tomorrow. Stay there as that drier air filters in. Gets a little breezy tomorrow, I would imagine, and then everything kind of quiets down for Veterans Day with lots of sunshine on Friday. We look for a southeast wind switching to the southwest, switching to the northeast, and getting a little breezy during the overnight. Maybe a moderate chop tonight, but for most of the day today, I think we're looking at a light chop with 1 to 2 foot seas. So pretty nice boating conditions today. We're looking at a nice day for probably 5-6 days in a row. In fact, we'll have another little reinforcing shot of drier air on Monday, and that'll keep us in the groove as we head into the all of next work week, I think. Back to you guys.
All right, looks good. Thank you, John. At 6:48, we're starting to see the building volume both directions, 301 and 41 in Bradenton. Things looking good, though, on I-75. No reported accidents in Manatee County, so some good news there. University Parkway exit should be opening up as well after being closed for overnight work on that diverging diamond. In Sarasota, heavy traffic eastbound on Fruitville. Bee Ridge looking pretty good, and we're starting to see slowdowns in both directions a little bit in Clark Road, but good news in South County. I-75 is accident-free in both directions. And just a warning, if you will be driving on I-75 tonight, we are going to see the work shift to southbound traffic for the newly constructed bridge on University Parkway. It's going to start with single lane closures about 8 tonight and then a double lane closure at 11 o'clock. Those lanes reopening at 6 a.m. for the morning commutes. And as we've mentioned, those on and off ramps at I-75 and University Parkway will be closed. You can get detours from Fruitville or State Road 70. And of course, we're going to see this project continuing. And I did see those lane closures and the exit ramp closures this morning. So, and be careful out there. A lot of workers during the overnight hours.
Yeah,
so
no
need to slow
doubt.
down.
And with the lane changes and the repainting of lines, a lot of people having trouble. So
Yeah, a little
obviously-
confusing.
And the speed limit is lower there, but just be careful. And there's a lot of accidents there already, but pay attention and be caution is the better part of valor.
Exactly. 6:49 in health news this morning, according to the American Psychological Association. More than half of us are reporting that the U.S. presidential election campaign was a source of stress. You think?
You don't say. Heightened emotions may contribute to that stress, and sudden amounts of significant stress definitely have a very bad effect on the body, and that's according to Sarasota cardiologist Dr. Chippy Naluri, including increased blood pressure and heart rate and reduction of your immune system, but you can reduce that stress.
It's a very simple breathing technique. You take a breath in through your nose, you hold it, and exhale out through the mouth. But do it for the same count. You breathe in for the same count, hold for the same count, breathe out for the same count, and repeat it until you feel that relaxation.
Dr. Naluri also suggests participating in any activity that helps you employ mindfulness, including walking, yoga, and meditation. I'll be the first to say running or walking for me is always, it clears your head. You know, and
I'd agree with that.
It opens your mind, it really does, because it's just relaxing, and also and it puts everything in order
And
in your
takes the
mind.
stress off your heart,
Exactly.
which is the important part.
It defrags your computer.
All right, stay with us. Today's headlines and a last look at traffic and weather straight ahead.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Gold fever has once again swept the nation. And everyone is rushing to Florida to strike it doubly rich. Introducing the $5 million Gold Rush Doubler. We're doubling cash prizes for over $752 million in payouts. And 36 prizes from $1 million to $5 million. The Florida Gold Rush is on. The Florida Lottery, just imagine.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose big time. Luckily, You can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
It is 6:54 on Wednesday morning, and here's what you need to know before you go. A new president has been elected. It was a long, drawn-out campaign full of debate and conflict, but Donald Trump has emerged as the new commander-in-chief. A host of local and state races, of course, also decided, including Senator Marco Rubio's win, Congressman Vern Buchanan also retaining his seat. And a traffic reminder, and it's a big one, work will continue on University Parkway's diverging diamond. There'll be lane closures tonight. Those start at 8 o'clock at University Parkway and I-75 and will continue until 6 o'clock in the morning. On and off ramps will also be closed. Taking a look at traffic right now, no problems in that I-75 University Parkway stretch. I-75 looks good through Manatee County. 301's where the slowdowns are right now in both directions. In Sarasota, it looks pretty good across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Roads. Also not seeing any problems through Sarasota County on I-75, and things moving well all through South County with no accidents reported. I think folks off to a bit of a slow start this morning, John. A little bit of a late night.
Not weather-wise, though. Everything looks good for your morning commute. Everything's going to be fine. I think on the way home as well, though, there may be some isolated sprinkles or showers. That is a cold front. The cold front moves through our area, brings us some delightful weather for the next 5 days.
Thank you, John. Now, the Canadian government's immigration website crashed last night. Apparently, the election inspired many to look into leaving our country. Business Insider reports that the site went down around 10:30 last night, and access has been a little spotty ever since. Online searches regarding moving to Canada and becoming a Canadian citizen grew in recent months, particularly after Donald Trump won the Republican presidential nomination. And now that he's president, the site crashed last night. It looked like he was going to win. I think people started looking for ways out, but it's our country. We got to stay here and make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we can have some healing occurring, but it's not going to be immediate. I mean, a lot of folks put a lot of time and passion into an election, and, you know, only one side ends up happy, unfortunately, and I think this year that's going to be a little harder than on prior elections to recover from.
A new political landscape, no doubt about it. There'll be interesting months to come. And,
yes,
of course, Hillary's making a speech a little bit later on this morning.
Yes, an interesting morning on the way. Of course, Good Morning America will have all the latest, some major overnight developments, of course, as Donald Trump officially elected President of the United States. Have a good day.